NFL HQ, your morning destination for all the latest news from around the league.
It's everything you need to know about every single team.
With complete off-season coverage from Combine to free agency.
Forte slices into the end zone.
The 2016 NFL Draft and training camp.
I love his game.
It's the NFL way to start your day.
His feet, his athleticism, you just don't pass up on these guys.
NFL HQ, Monday through Friday at 8, live on NFL Network.
On the field and off.
How you doing?
Your Carolina Panthers in the community. Supporting the programs and the people that make the Carolinas great.
Big hugs, big hugs.
More than football. Your Carolina Panthers, your team.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Tonight on Carolina News, Lee Correctional Incident. Here are the latest updates on the multiple fatalities at the notoriously violent South Carolina prison. Severe weather in the Midlands.
What we thought was thunder, and must have been the tree coming down when I walked down the stairs this morning.
See our team coverage on yesterday's storm that caused major damage throughout the Midlands. Tax Day. Tomorrow is April 17th, the last chance to file for your taxes. Find out what could happen if those forms are not complete.
From the University of South Carolina, your news, your sports, your weather. Carolina News begins now.
Hello, and welcome to Carolina News. I'm Morgan Cox.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Bailey Blanchard. We begin today with an update on the incident at Lee Correctional Institution that occurred late last night into early this morning.
According to the South Carolina Department of Corrections, 7 inmates were killed and 17 were injured at the prison. One inmate described what he saw as bodies stacking up. Inmates attacked each other using homemade knives. These incidents occurred for 7 hours across 3 housing units. Multiple agencies responded and no law enforcement were injured. During the incident, state officials say the fighting was over illegal contraband in the prison.
What we believe from the initial investigation is that this was all about territory. This is about contraband. This is about cell phones, and you've heard us talk about these over and over again. These folks are fighting over real money and real territory while they're incarcerated.
The issues of cell phones in prisons continues to be a growing problem. Lee Correctional Institution has a long history of violence, and the most recent being in March, when a guard was held hostage by inmates. Still, this kind of death and injury toll is unprecedented.
Today we have team coverage on how Midlands residents are struggling with the damage left behind from severe weather on Sunday. We begin our coverage with reporter Christina Lobo in Irmo, where one resident noticed their neighbor's home had taken quite a hit.
The tree was quite a tree. It's a big tree.
Thankfully, Douglas Gray dodged the big tree last night, but his next-door neighbor wasn't quite as lucky.
We heard what we thought was thunder, and it must have been the tree coming down. When I walked down the stairs this morning, I saw it and went, oh my goodness, Scott and Renee's backyard is on their porch.
Strong winds and severe storms rolled across the Midlands last night, causing damage to houses like this one here in Irmo.
We surveyed the damage and saw that the gazebo had pretty much been destroyed, and we were worried that the house had been hit, but we went out and looked, and it doesn't seem like there's a lot of damage to the house.
According to the National Weather Service, a preliminary storm survey confirmed a tornado touchdown from Lexington to Irmo. South Carolina Emergency Management Division says over 60,000 residents were left without power last night. But Douglas says it's the trees in Irmo that caused the real damage.
I think living here for almost 30 years, we've discovered that you have to keep your trees really trimmed and keep the loose branches taken out and keep the yard maintenance up.
Maintenance that his neighbor isn't likely to forget. Christina Lobo, Carolina News.
Thanks, Christina. We continue our team coverage with Trevor Beck out in Lexington with information on what to do if your home has suffered from storm damage.
Lexington County residents may have thought the end of the world was happening last night after 2 confirmed tornadoes touched down in the county. Thankfully, though, they didn't cause much damage. Instead, other storm winds knocked over trees, including resident Jim Harp, whose backyard pine tree snapped in half after he heard a pop.
Well, the pine tree cracked. Once we had gone back in the house, we heard the pop, and it go down. Power outage went out, and we were out for about 45 minutes, and we were lucky it was only for that long.
And just down the road from Harp, this. A downed tree landing right on top of a home on Laurel Road. Harp said they had just moved in less than 2 weeks ago. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but the tree did help start a power outage for the neighborhood. In the case of a power outage, most people know to keep a candle or a flashlight nearby them for light. However, the SCEMD also advises you to keep your cell phone near you at all times as well, and charged in case you need to contact authorities for help. The South Carolina Emergency Management Division confirmed that over 60,000 power outages occurred last night. Kim McLeod gave advice on what to do should your house get damaged by a storm.
Your house has been damaged, you really need to evacuate. You don't want to stay inside a damaged building. That's very important because it might be structurally unsound. People should contact their insurance company to see what kind of compensation they can get, and then also contact your local emergency manager in your county and to report the damage.
Hopefully, though, an accident like this won't happen to you, but it's always safe to stay prepared. Trevor Beck, Carolina News.
The SCEMD also say that if a storm like this happens again, you should stay on the ground floor of your home in a secure room until the winds die down.
Hopefully we've seen the last of the severe storms. Our Will Dodson is in the Kennedy Greenhouse to let us know what to expect for this week. Will?
Thanks, y'all. Yeah, I think Mother Nature is playing some tricks on us. There's such beautiful weather last week, but this weekend it just brought on the rain, the wind, and the tornadoes. So hopefully we're going to see some warmer weather here in the coming days, and the colder weather will be heading up north. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Will. A gas leak in Casey caused a scare today when people were forced to evacuate the area. The city of Casey tweeted at 11:46 a.m. that the 900 block of Abbott Drive was to be evacuated due to a major gas leak. The city later tweeted that the leak was due to a damage from a construction project. The evacuation was lifted 31 minutes later at 12:07 p.m.
Today, the Sumter Police Department is investigating a shooting that took place outside of an apartment complex that happened Sunday afternoon. Officers say they found 17-year-old Joshua Goodman shot in the parking lot of an apartment complex on Peach Street around 1:45 p.m. Goodman was transported to Palmetto Health Hospital, where he later died. The investigation is ongoing. If anyone has any information, call the Sumter Police Department or Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC.
Richland County is currently investigating a shooting they said took place at Columbia Place Mall Saturday afternoon. Deputies say the shots were fired after two groups got into a dispute in the Columbia Place parking lot on Two Notch Road. Both groups fled the scene, and at this time there are currently no vehicle descriptions available. Two people were reportedly shot during the incident. One victim is being treated for life-threatening injuries to the upper body, while the other has non-life-threatening injuries to the lower body. An investigation is currently underway. Anyone with any information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC. The Richland County Sheriff's Department arrested a familiar face to many Live PD viewers yesterday. Remember this arrest on Live PD over the summer? Brian Martin led deputies on a chase that ended in the man flipping his car. The man got out of the car, and Richland County deputies saw he was holding his year-old daughter in his arms. Deputy Mastriani of RCSD successfully tackled the man to the ground with little injury to the baby. The man was pulled over again Sunday afternoon for speeding and a broken windshield. He was later charged for possession of marijuana and unlawful carry of a pistol.
Coming up after the break on Carolina News, tomorrow is the last day to file your taxes for 2017. Find out what might happen if you don't.
This is our game, our passion. This is what we live for. 24/7.
He don't just run for first down. This man runs for touchdown.
This is where our season never ends.
This is a heck of a game.
From the combine.
This is why you want to run at the combine, because now you get another crack at it.
To the draft.
He hustles, he's tough, he's got Pro Bowl potential.
To the Super Bowl. All day, every day, exclusive access.
It's training camp where the real work comes into play.
On the field.
What does this win do for the Vikings?
And off.
I realize what my purpose is now.
This is our history.
I wanted to play for anyone who would play the Packers.
Our next generation.
With the first pick in the NFL draft.
This is our everything.
Showtime.
This is NFL Network.
Where can you throw the best pregame tailgate in Charlotte without worrying about a thing? What about steps from Bank of America Stadium before Panthers home games? 3 distinct hospitality villages will be sure to impress your guests. Gourmet food and beverage, stunning decor, live bands, and the best Panthers entertainment available. Learn more about corporate hospitality at panthers.com/tickets.
The final day to file your 2017 taxes is tomorrow. Our Sierra Artemis went to a tax preparer to see what could happen if you don't file.
The lobby of Javis Tax Services was packed as the late filers piled in to meet the deadline tomorrow. The deadline is normally April 15th, but due to the 15th falling on the weekend, tomorrow is the day. The most important reason you must file tomorrow: 5% of your taxable liability will be penalized every month you don't file.
If you don't do it within 3 years, then you forfeit any refund that you are due.
Javis Tax Services is coming up on its 20th anniversary. Owner Kadena Javis has had clients that has trusted her with their returns
for years.
When asked why she was filing late, faithful customer Sharian Davis had this to say.
Well, this is the first time I've waited until the last minute. Usually mine are completed and done by this time.
According to the IRS, $1.1 billion may belong to 1 million taxpayers that failed to file their taxes in 2014. Over $12 million of those dollars may belong to South Carolinians that have until tomorrow to file.
And just like I tell folks, the failure to file penalty is 10 times more than the failure to pay. So even if you owe, file that extension. That way you don't have that failure to file penalty as well.
Mrs. Davis says even if you don't have your income or your expenses ready, just go ahead and file that extension, because that extension could give you to October 15th to get all of your finances together. For Carolina News, Sierra Artemis.
If you need any additional information on how to file tax documents or just to track your current tax returns, log on to irs.gov.
Egg consumers, there has been a major recall of millions of eggs. Salmonella outbreak has prompted the recall of more than 2 million eggs sold under 9 different brand names in 9 states, including South Carolina. The contaminated eggs came from Rose Acre Farms in Seymour, Indiana. Consumers who have purchased the contaminated eggs are urged to immediately discontinue use of the recalled eggs and return them to the place of purchase for a refund.
South Carolina Representative Trey Gowdy spoke out about the ongoing Mueller investigation on Fox News this week. He said it was Mueller's duty to report potential criminality and does not see what Mueller did wrong.
I don't know what Mueller was supposed to do other than what he did. When a prosecutor comes in contact with information or evidence of a crime, what are you supposed to do other than to refer it to the appropriate jurisdiction?
The Mueller probe has been going on for months, and South Carolina congressmen have been particularly outspoken on the issue.
Protests occurred today in a Philadelphia Starbucks after 2 black men were arrested there on Thursday.
Starbucks decided to give autonomy to a white...
Social media exploded after video and spoken accounts of the arrest were shared online. According to Starbucks employees, the men used the restrooms without purchasing anything from the coffee shop. The employers asked the men to leave and they refused, so they were arrested for trespassing. Other patrons of the Starbucks stood up and said that they did the same thing and were not penalized. Now let's check back in with Will for another weather update. Will?
Well, guys, it is sunny, but the wind's still here. Coming up next on Carolina News, I'm going to have your 5-day forecast plus more. That's next. See you then.
NFL HQ, your morning destination for all the latest news from around the league.
It's everything you need to know about every single team.
With complete off-season coverage from combine to free agency. The 2016 NFL Draft and training camp.
I love his game.
It's the NFL way to start your day.
His feet, his athleticism, you just don't pass up on these guys.
NFL HQ, Monday through Friday at 8, live on NFL Network.
On the field and off.
How you doing?
Your Carolina Panthers in the community. Supporting the programs and the people that make the Carolinas great.
Big hug, big hug.
More than football. Your Carolina Panthers, your team.
welcome back to Carolina News. Let's start with your highs today. 59 in Columbia. The sun is out, but there's still a chill in the air. That wind coming in from the west at 18 miles an hour is bringing a chill and a bite. Moving on to the current map right now. 57 in Columbia, like I said. 56 in Aiken, 60 in Orangeburg, 60 in Florence, staying pretty mild there in the Midlands. 62 in Myrtle Beach, 63 in Charleston, and 62 in Hilton Head. Those will warm up as the day goes on, or the week goes on. 55 in Rock Hill, 54 in Greenville. Moving on to tonight's lows, it's going to be chilly. Grab that jacket, grab a sweater. 38 in Columbia, 37 in Aiken, 38 in Orangeburg. The Low Country seeing those mid to low 40s, 39 in Myrtle Beach. Tomorrow, the high is going to be 73 here in Columbia. It's going to warm up. That wind's going to cut back. Those cold temperatures are gone for good. Maybe not for good, but gone for a little while at least. 71 in Aiken, 82 in Orangeburg, 72 in Florence, 67 in Myrtle Beach. So if you're down there, it's going to be a little chillier than the rest of the coast. 71 in Rock Hill, 73 in Greenville. Now, for our national map, let's take a look. These cold temperatures right here are the cause of the wind and all the low-pressure systems here in the Midlands this weekend. Mother Nature is really playing tricks on us. But those temperatures are moving up north. We're going to see warmer temperatures moving on into the rest of the week. Now, moving on to our 5-day forecast. Monday, today, like I said, partly cloudy today. It was 59 degrees, a low of 38 tonight. But it's warming up. Tuesday, it's going to be sunny, 73. You are going to be able to wear the shorts maybe and leave the jacket at home. Definitely Wednesday, partly cloudy, but 84 degrees. So that's going to be nice. Cloudy on Thursday, but a lot of wind coming back, 77. And Friday, it's going to be sunny. So with that, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Will. That cold weather definitely came out of nowhere, but it looks like the rest of the week is going to be better.
I'm hoping so. Warm weather is my favorite, so this cold weather is not for me. Coming up after the break, Asia Wilson toured Columbia over the weekend and made stops in some of her favorite places in the Midlands. Our Chandler Mack has more after the break.
So we were walking to school. At the corner, we waited for the traffic light.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart,
want cheese pizza,
but
like at Luigi's.
sometimes her mind wanders.
They have this video game there, and Kate's got the high score. We should have a sleepover. Maybe I should pack my pajamas.
I remember saying, Laura? Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
When we finally got there,
she gave me a hug goodbye.
I really hope she doesn't have another bad day at school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free online resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Here you'll get personalized recommendations, practical tips, daily access to experts, and more. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Welcome back to Carolina News. The newest member of the Las Vegas Aces and Gamecock legend Asia Wilson came back to Columbia over the weekend to sign autographs for her fans. Gamecock Nation got to see Asia one more time as Wilson made stops all over the Midlands. She held an autograph signing at local shoe store Cola Kicks and finished up the weekend with an autograph signing and pop-up at Wild Wings Cafe in the Vista. Wilson says she enjoys spending time with the fans that helped make her career at Carolina so special.
And it means a lot. It's just bringing the state together one last time for me, and this state has done so much for me, so it just means the world to just kind of see everybody come out. I don't know whether they're here for the good Wild Wings food or just to be here for the support, but just having them here is it's a lot of fun.
Good stuff. Wilson left for Las Vegas today as she prepares for training camp, which starts at the end of the month. Moving things to the tennis court, the Gamecocks tennis team took on Kentucky over the weekend, and it was also senior day for the team. The Gamecocks did their seniors proud as they swept the Wildcats 4-0 to move their record to 19-5 on the season and 11-2 in SEC play. The team also clinched the 3rd seed in the 2018 SEC tournament. The team is having a historic season this year. Their 11 SEC wins are the most in program history, and their 3rd place rank in the SEC tournament is their best ranking since 1996. They will be in action again this Friday. Moving things to a different court, the hardwood, it is the most wonderful time of the year. Well, at least for this guy. The NBA playoffs are in full swing and 15 teams are looking to dethrone the Warriors to become NBA champs. We're going to pick things up in Philly as Rookie of the Year candidate Ben Simmons led the Sixers to victory against D. Wade and the Miami Heat. In his first career playoff game, Simmons flirted with a triple-double, scoring 17 points, dishing out 14 assists, and grabbing 9 rebounds. Game 2 of the series will be played tonight at 8 p.m. And on Sunday, what was supposed to be a Cavalier victory turned into a Victor Oladipo coming out party as the Pacers routed the Cavs 98-80. Oladipo scored a playoff career high 32 points. Even in the loss, LeBron James still managed to have a triple-double. The loss also snapped LeBron's 21-game first-round playoff winning streak. Game 2 of the series will be played this Wednesday at 7 p.m. And the weekend concluded with a thriller as James Harden had 44 points to lead the Rockets over the Timberwolves 104-101. The Timberwolves were led by Andrew Wiggins, who had 18 points in his first career playoff game. Former MVP Derrick Rose also added 16 points for the Wolves, but it was just too much James Harden. The Pelicans, the Celtics, the Thunder, and the Raptors and the defending champion Warriors also currently have 1-0 leads in their series. And keeping things on the hardwood, the WNBA season is just a few weeks away, which unfortunately means we have to say goodbye to our colleague Alicia Gray as she is returning back to Dallas to prepare for the WNBA season. Last year, Alicia was the WNBA Rookie of the Year, scoring 13 points a game, which was 3rd on the team. Alicia was a major asset to our Carolina News team, and I know she's going to go back to Dallas and continue to be a huge contributor to the Wings. With that, I'm sending things back to y'all.
Thanks, Chandler. After the break, see how Beyonce is giving back to her fans following her legendary Coachella performance.
I love that. See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Carolina News. Beyonce is giving back once again. The singer announced that she's starting the Homecoming Scholars Awards program. The program gives a $25,000 scholarship to one student. The student is chosen from 4 historically black colleges and universities throughout the nation and will start during the 2018 to 2019 school year. I love Beyonce, and I want to go to her concert in Columbia so bad.
I already have tickets. Are you going to go with me?
Yes, I hope so.
It's going to be awesome. We're going to take it back to Will in the Kennedy Greenhouse for one last look at our 5-day forecast. Will?
Thanks, y'all. Yep, today it was windy, but the sun came out. We're going to look at some more wind coming Thursday, but sun tomorrow and Friday. Wednesday is going to be partly cloudy, but the temperatures are going to stay pretty mild. Back to you.
Well, I'm really hoping that we get that warm weather.
I know. I want to take it out to the pool. I want to go see what we can do at the Riverwalk.
That's what I'm saying. I get my dog back from my parents this week, so he loves the Riverwalk, and we're really hoping that we can go back.
So much fun.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
I wonder what else we can do in this warm weather. Maybe tomorrow's sports will tell us what we can do.
I hope so. Maybe there's some basketball games or some baseball games. Excuse me.
Yeah, I would love to see some
warm weather. That would be great.
games.
Well, that's all the time that we have that's all the time that we have today. Thanks so much for joining us.
See you tomorrow. Have a great evening.